Human beings the world over have been looking for a reason to get together and have fun. When they do, the activities range from sports in the mud, crazy costume parties, to food fights. These are things you want to be doing. However, some celebrations seem to be insanely extreme. Here are the most unusual festivals celebrated around the world. International Hair Freezing Contest, Yukon, Canada. In the frigid province of Yukon, Canada, the International Hair Freezing Contest is a fun winter celebration that occurs every February at the Takini Hot Pools. Participants in the contest dunk their heads in the hot water and then create frosty hairdos by shaping their locks as they freeze in the cold air above. Temperatures in the area can reach below minus 30 degrees Celsius or minus 22 degrees Fahrenheit at the time of the contest. Winners receive a cash prize. Be sure to give us a like as we roll out the crazy. Busó Festival, Mohács, Hungary. This unusual festival is Hungary's wildest one. With a blend of pagan rituals, folk dancing, and devilish masks, the rowdy carnival is held in the small town of Mohács to allegedly scare off the last days of winter. It is also seen as an appreciation of the local Croatian minority. The festival reenacts the 16th century Battle of Mohacs, where hundreds of busós arrive in rowboats and march their way through the streets in horse-drawn carriages. Apart from the main festival, there are many interactive events to engage in, along with plenty of spiced wine and Pálinka for the harshly chilly climate. Ice and Snow Festival, China. This is an annual winter festival that takes place in Harbin, Heilongjiang, China. It is the largest, most weird ice and snow festival in the world. Participants in the festival were mainly Chinese. However, it has now become an international festival and competition. In 2018, festivals attracted 18 million visitors and generated $4.4 billion in revenue. This World Festival showcases the biggest ice sculptures. It starts on January 5 and goes on until late February. However, exhibits often open earlier and stay longer if weather permits. Day of the Dead, Mexico. This festival is traditionally celebrated on the 1st and 2nd of November. Other days, such as the 31st of October or 6th of November, may be included depending on the locality. The ceremony largely originated in Mexico and other places with people of Mexican heritage who referred to it as Dia de los Muertos. The multi-day holiday involves family and friends gathering to pay respect and to remember friends and family members who have died. These celebrations can take a humorous tone, as celebrants remember funny events and anecdotes about the departed. The Burning Man, USA. At the end of every summer, an artistic community comes together to create and dismantle a city in the Nevada desert. Founded in 1986 in San Francisco, California, Burning Man is a mindset as well as a festival. Some of the group's values include radical inclusion, self-reliance, self-expression, community cooperation, de-commodification, and more. The community celebrates by combining all of their individual talents to create artistic sculptures, buildings, performances, art cars, and more. The event culminates in the burning of a large wooden man, which has reached a height of 105 feet in recent years. There's clearly 1,000 ways to get together and have fun. Battle of the Oranges, Iveria, Italy. The Italian town of Ivrea hosts one of the most unusual festivals around the world. In the citrus battlefield, participants shoot 600,000 kilos of oranges at one another, celebrating Shrove Tuesday. The festival aims at recreating the 12th century combat between the locals and the Royal Napoleonic troops. Teams of arancieri on foot hurl oranges against arancieri riding in carts. This symbolic festival is one of the biggest food fights in the country, making its way to the top of the unusual festivals held around the world. Sweet Wars Festival, Vilanova, Spain. For 6 days in February, Vilanova y la Geltrú, a small port town located just an hour's drive from Barcelona, comes to life. The music of 100 competing Spanish bands from around Catalonia fills the packed town square. A half-dozen parades wind up and down the street's main boulevard, and thousands of locals and international tourists throng the busy streets. They come together to celebrate one of the oldest festivals in Spain. A fiesta combines great music, grand balls, fine food, which during merengada is not always eaten, and lots of alcohol. Hadaka Japan Matsuri, Okayama. Thousands of near-naked men, clad only in traditional Japanese loincloths, face the cold every year. They compete for sacred offerings thrown to the crowds at the climax of this annual religious rite. The festival is held on the third Saturday in February, which processions begin from mid-afternoon. The Shingi Tuka is the climax at Hadaka Matsuri. Here, thousands of men compete for sacred shingri sticks that are released into the crowds. Argungu Fishing Festival, Argungu, Nigeria. This is a way of life for the people of Kebbi State. The annual festival takes place in February, marking the end of the farming season and the start of the fishing season. The 4-day event begins with an agricultural show, water sport displays, traditional Kebabwa entertainment, and ends with a spectacular fishing competition in the Fatafadan River. Day of Silence, Bali. Nayepi is a Balinese day of silence that is commemorated every Isakawarsa, Saka New Year, according to the Balinese calendar. It is a Hindu celebration mainly held in Bali, Indonesia. Nayepi is a day of silence, fasting and meditation for the Balinese. The day following Nayepi is also celebrated as New Year's Day. On this day, the youth of Bali in the village of Sesatan in South Bali practice the ceremony of Omed Omedan, or the kissing ritual, to celebrate the new year. I bet you want to go there on New Year's Day, don't you? La Batalla de Vino, La Rioja, Spain. During this weird festival, locals and visitors alike gather for the world's biggest wine fight. In the morning, everyone attends Mass before heading out to climb the Riscos de Biliboa, which lies at the foothills of the Obarneses Mountains, an area full of strange rock formations. It is here that the battle begins. The aim of the fight is to cover each other in so much wine that everyone's clothes turn purple. Nadam Festival, Mongolia. Another unusual festival and the biggest national holiday of Mongolia. It allows tourists to mingle with Mongolians and observe the authentic culture. Nadam is not primarily a tourist event, but a holiday that Mongolians celebrate by competing and playing cultural games. They dress in colorful traditional clothes and ride their most beautiful horses. The official celebrations take place throughout the country on the 11th and 12th of July annually. Watolumpide, Brunsbüttel, Germany. This is another unusual festival in Europe. Watolumpide is a single-day sports competition held in knee-deep mud. Since the games occur on the banks of the Elbe River, time is limited by the tide. Once the playing field has been exposed, teams with fancy names hit the muck. There is no possibility of a dignified game or a clean victory. But you wouldn't mind, would you? Give us a like down below. Underwater Music Festival, Florida, USA. Set up in the Florida Keys on the only living coral reef barrier, the Underwater Music Festival has been running for 31 years. A local radio station sponsors the event to promote environmental sustainability and responsible diving. They play sea-themed music underwater through speakers that are suspended under boats above the reef. Participants are encouraged to wear costumes and play underwater instruments to compete for prizes. Tough, huh? World Bog Snorkeling Championships, United Kingdom. Bog snorkeling originated as a sport in Leeuwarden Wells in 1976. Armed with a snorkel and flippers, participants must compete 2 consecutive lengths of a 60-yard trench of water cut through a peat bog, relying on only their flippers to push them through. Hundreds travel to Wales from around the world to immerse themselves in this unusual sporting event. Thought fun couldn't get weird? King's Day, Netherlands. King Wilhelm Alexander was born on the 27th of April, and so there are many parties, flea markets, and the king himself visits one or several cities with his family. Originally, Princess Day was celebrated in Holland on Wilhelmina's birthday when she was still a princess. The feast involved many children's games and decorated streets. When Wilhelmina became the new queen after her father's death, it was changed to Queen's Day, and now to the weird. World Toe Wrestling Championship, Ashbourne, UK. The location of the World Toe Wrestling Championships varies annually. The practice originated in the village of Wetton, Stratfordshire in the 1970s. It was born out of the desire for the UK to have its own unique, read that weird, championship. Just like arm wrestling, 2 people face one another in each match. Players can only take part in the tournament after a thorough toe examination by a qualified nurse. La Tomatina, Buñol, Spain. This strange festival has run annually in August during a week-long celebration in Buñol. In 1945, a rowdy crowd took tomatoes from a vegetable stall and started a food fight. In 2015, the hour-long camaraderie used up an estimated 145,000 kilos of tomatoes. Since 2013, La Tomatina has been a ticketed event to limit participants to just 20,000. Before then, up to 50,000 guests had been reportedly involved in the food fight. One amazing fact is, after an hour of free-for-all tomato tossing, trucks spray water down the streets and many participants wash in a pool of Los Peones. Night of the Radishes, Mexico. This annual festival takes place on December 23rd in the Mexican city of Oaxaca. The competition involves carved, oversized radishes to create various shapes and scenes. The tradition dates back to 1897, when Oaxaca's city mayor, Francisco Vascolones, decided to make the contest part of the year's Christmas market entertainment. The market sold traditional flowers, herbs, and ingredients for holiday dishes, as well as home decorations. Lopburi Monkey Festival, Lopburi, Thailand. Before you start to consider what a monkey tastes like, this is a buffet for monkeys. In the Lopburi province, north of Bangkok, the local monkey population of 2,000 to 3,000 is gifted with the feast of 4,000 kilos of fruits, vegetables, cakes, and candies every year in November. After the treats, youths dress up as monkeys dance to entertain their furry cousins. The festival was initiated in 1989 by a businessman who thought of it as a unique way to drive tourism in Lopburi. Luckily for him, Lopburi and the monkeys, it worked. I know you want some more, so hit the like button and check this out. Iyo Festival, Lagos, Nigeria. The Iyo Festival, otherwise known as the Adamu Orishi Play, is a Yoruba festival unique to Lagos, Nigeria. In modern times, it is presented by the people of Lagos as a tourist event, and due to its history, it's traditionally performed on Lagos Island. The word Iyo also refers to the costume dancers, known as the masquerades that come out during the festival. A number of items are prohibited at the festival, including Okanda motorcycle taxis, bicycles, sandals, suku hairstyle, smoking, male and female headgear wearing of the Iyo costume overnight, or to cross a river or lagoon. The masquerades are known to beat people who use any of the prohibited items at the site with their staffs. Onbashira, Lake Suwa, Japan. This unusual festival is held once every 6 years to symbolically revitalize the Suwa shrines. The event has been held for over 1,200 years and consists of 2 month-long components. The Yamadashi takes place in April, during which 4 very large tree trunks are felled and by hand axes in the cemetery of a Shinto shrine. The trunks are adorned with red and white and then dragged by teams of men towards the Shinto shrines. The idea is for the men to test their courage during a trial by performing kiyotoshi, dangerously riding the logs downhill on rough inclines. Aren't you glad you don't have to prove yourself this way? Give us a like if you agree. Sinulog, Cebu, Philippines. These unusual festivals also attract between 1 and 2 million visitors from all over the country annually. They give revelers the opportunity to join Cebu tours and explore the many attractions of the province. First-time visitors from across the world are advised to use the Sinulog Festival in Cebu as the gateway to their Philippine trips. SantaCon, New York. The most festive drinking event in Gotham has to be SantaCon NYC. It involves dressing up as Christmas characters from gingerbread cookies to reindeer too. Some of the best bars in NYC participate, although you can't just wander into any watering hole. In the past, some bars have banned dressed-up folks, so your best bet is to stick to the organizer's map. Agitagueda Art Festival, Portugal. This unusual festival honors public art in its many forms, with a blend of both veteran and new artists exhibiting their works throughout the festival. Visitors walk the downtown area, shaded by thousands of brightly colored umbrellas above the city streets, in what has become a trademark of the whole event. Throwing of the Grape Festival, Australia. Festus de Vermar, known as the Grape Throwing Festival, is a unique celebration that starts from the last week of September and goes on for a fortnight. The village people use to gather up and have fun throwing grapes at each other. One amazing fact is the grape squashing is a group event where teams of 4 race against the clock to see who can squash the most wine with their feet. Do you want to drink that? Talk to us as the unusual countdown continues. Air Guitar World Championships, Finland. This weird festival has been held annually in Oulu, Finland since 1996 as part of the Oulu Music Video Festival. What started as a joke has turned into a serious attraction. Participants must play air guitars on stage in 2 rounds, with each lasting at least 1 minute. One song is chosen by the participant and one by the organizer. They must play air guitar only and are scored out of 6. The ideology behind this event is a simple one. Wars would end and all bad things would go away if everyone just played air guitar. I've never seen a rock fan start a war. Okay, I have. Relax. Rio Carnival, Brazil. Rio Carnival is the biggest attraction in Brazil, and over the years, its celebration has evolved. At one time, it was celebrated with Roman Catholic traditions taking place just before Lent. The carnival was the final feast and celebration before Christians went into 40 days of fasting. A samba school is composed by local neighbors with the common background who want to attend the carnival together. Venice Carnival, Italy. This strange festival is held annually in Venice, Italy. The carnival ends on Shrove Tuesday, which is the day before the start of Lent, or Ash Wednesday. The festival is world famous for its elaborate masks. According to legend, the Carnival of Venice started after the military victory of the Venetian Republic over the Patriarch of Aquilina in 1162. In honor of this victory, the people started to dance and gather in St. Marco's Square. It became official in the Renaissance. Oktoberfest, Germany. This is the largest beer festival around the world. It is held annually in Munich, Germany. The celebration is a 16 to 18-day world festival running from mid or late September. More than 6 million people from around the world attending the event every year. Locally, it is called De Wiesen, after the colloquial name for the fairgrounds, Theresienwiesen. Oktoberfest has been an important part of Bavarian culture since 1810. I bet they hold Oktoberfest near you. Bastille Day, France. The military parade is a French tradition that has been held each year in Paris since 1880. Since 1918, it has been held on the Champs-Élysées, but was previously held elsewhere within or near the capital city. Participants are the Allies as represented in the Versailles Peace Conference. Bastille Day was suspended during the period of German occupation from 1940 to 1944. Mardi Gras, New Orleans. Every year, the people of New Orleans celebrate Mardi Gras, French for Fat Tuesday. This is done on the day before Ash Wednesday. It precedes a season of fasting called Lent for many Christians, leading up to Easter weekend. Mardi Gras season in New Orleans is about music, parades, picnics, floats, and other excitements. Parade goers sit on the grounds, throw balls, play music, eat great food, and watch the crowds walk by between parades. The ceremony is also held in many other cities, especially the predominantly Catholic ones. Do you celebrate Mardi Gras or other Easter festivities? Tell us how you do it in the comments section. Up Heliah, St. Ninian's Isle, Scotland. Another weird festival in the world is Up Heliah. It is a fire festival typically held every year between January and March. It involves various communities in Shetland, Scotland, and marks the end of the Yule season. Shetland boasts of its Norse connection and celebrates Viking culture by parading blazing torches through the dark streets. The festival, that began in the 1880s, draws thousands of locals and tourists alike to honor the rich heritage of the Scottish people. Boryong Mud Festival, Boryong, South Korea. Before we begin, click that like button to inspire us. Also subscribe to our channel and click the notification bell to be inspired by this type of ultimate facts. What began as a marketing event in 1998 later turned into a popular festival, drawing millions of visitors each year. While immersing yourself in mud can seem a bit odd, Boryong's mud stands out for its rich natural minerals and nutrients that have incredible benefits for the skin. The annual festival, held in July, runs 10 days straight. It involves a series of activities that will get you sticky and filthy, such as mud pools, mud slides, and mud skiing, along with an array of makeover and massage facilities. I know you want to get dirty. Drop me a comment, please. El Colacho, Castillo de Murica, Spain. Known to the Spanish locals as El Colacho, this festival happens 60 days after Easter during the Feast of Corpus Christi. The Baby Jumping Festival is a baptismal ceremony wherein babies who were born over the last year are absolved of sin. The religious custom dates back to the early 1600s. Men dressed in traditional devilish clothing terrorize the crowd before running down the street and jumping over the babies who have been carefully laid down on pillows. No injuries have been reported, but Catholic fathers frown upon the ritual. Cheu Cha Bun Festival, Hong Kong. During this traditional Chinese festival, participants historically raced up a tower of buns to grab the highest bun. This would allegedly bring them the best fortune. The annual festival dates back to the 18th century and is held on the 8th day of the 4th month in the Chinese calendar. It coincides with the celebration of Buddha's birthday. This event's official bun supplier, Huac Kam Ki, makes more than 60,000 buns for the Bun Festival. Which of the festivals fascinated you the most? Do you plan to join any of these celebrations? Let us know in the comments below. Like always, if you enjoyed it, be sure to give us a big thumbs up and leave us some love in the comment section. To keep up to date with all of our awesome videos, be sure to hit subscribe and turn your notifications on to never miss a thing. Until next time, do take care of yourself.